you're talking about you went on DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah.
And they had the critical thing.
Yeah, at Dallas Cowboys tweet.
Yeah. So it's funny that, like, when I was on this morning with them, I do the break with Derek and Ambar and Nick. And those guys immediately went after Dak.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. That's just a big difference. That just shows, when you talk about, like, ownership and stuff like that, letting you be, critical and, about the team and stuff like that. It's one of the big reasons why when you follow along on DallasCowboys.com, that you're going to get, it ain't going to be any kind of fluff things.
No, they do a great job.
They do a really good job with that. So anyway.
No, I didn't mean what I said to suggest that they did pull punches in any way.
No. That's what I thought you were
I just
saying.
thought it was remarkable that more and more outlets that would have always been neutral are now critical of Dak. And I think this is a turning part in the story arc.
I felt like last night when we were doing the post-game show, and correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, that there was a lot more of people that have, like, I can't defend anymore.
Yeah.
I can't defend the player anymore.
Absolutely. I think that was the feeling. It certainly is mine. I mean, in these playoff games, a lot of it comes down to the quarterback play.
Yeah.
And especially in that game.
Well, the interceptions didn't look good in that regard. By the way, your defense, not the defense, played really, really well in this game.
That was awesome.
We went into this game talking about how do you stop this guy? How do you stop that guy? How do you, if you look at
they really brought that we have something to prove energy.
They did.
And it was jumping off the television.
It really was. I mean,
physical, man. They were hitting those dudes, and it was like gang tackling all over the place. It was awesome.
It's a shame that they had in this game a couple of opportunities for some turnovers. They could have got Brock Purdy at least twice on some turnovers. I for sure that the drops. I think Wilson the one. When Micah Parsons was blitzing on that play, I mean, and it's when he did the old Reggie White. We saw it on TV, that hump move where that's what Reggie used to take. And if he felt like that your weight was on the outside foot, he would just take you and just throw you. And that just shows you Micah Parsons, what he's capable of doing. That ball should have been picked off.
A guy, I mean, he's not small, but he is not large compared to defensive linemen.
No.
I've never seen a guy that small be able to have that kind of leverage on somebody.
He plays with great leverage. And I'll tell you
his
what.
explosion,
he
just ridiculous.
Let me tell you what, he had some good rushes against Trent Williams.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know how many times that they were going to put him over there against Trent Williams. But, man, he more than held his own over there, having to deal with that. In that game, he had to deal with a lot of chip blocks and things like that. Defensively, if you look at it too, it wasn't a great game. We were very hopeful that Leighton Vander Esch was going to play well in this game. Barr was going to play well. They really, really didn't play like to the level that they needed. I mean, to me,
they were part of keeping them under 20.
But some of the late runs when they started to get wore down,
gotcha.
That's to me, it's like early in that game they were able to kind of hang in there, and then all of a sudden it's the 49ers kind of figured some things out, and then Vander Esch and Barr and those guys got a little bit more exposed on that play, but on that particular point of the game. All right, the first interception on the 3rd and 9 for Dak. They're going max protection, so max protection means that they're going to keep the tight end in. Schultz is going to stay in this, and what happens is they pick up the blitz. The 49ers are actually going to blitz on the play, and they're going to pick it up. And Dak, honestly, and I know earlier he tried to throw a pass to Zeke in the flat, and he threw a pass to Zeke and then one to Pollard that were too high. In this case, he had Zeke in the flat, and instead of trying to throw the ball down the field to Gallup, and as you mentioned, you're right, Zach, the ball was late. His decision to throw it was late, and what happens was that they were able to get pressure on him. Broaddus gave up a little pressure inside to Armstead. So Dak is now throwing, and then he's got Armstead coming at him. So now he's trying to throw the ball over the top of Armstead, and then the ball kind of flutters out there a little bit, and it doesn't get to where it needs to be. But if he throws that ball earlier, that play's actually got a chance on the outside. But he's just it's so late. that it, if he could have just swung the ball to Zeke, they might have had a first down on that play on that 3rd and 9. It would have been really close at the sticks. The second interception is that he's just got to hit. He's got to hit Lamb on the spot. It's a funny route combination, which you've got to that side. You got Hilton's trying to basically run a slant or a post, and then you've got Schultz trying to run the out or the bench. So you got an up and inside, an out, and then you've got just with a spot or a curl inside. Well, if Dak just throws the ball, I mean, he sees Lamb the whole entire time, and he just doesn't throw the ball. And maybe he's looking at it. I don't know. I mean, he's looking in that direction because of the route combinations. But if he hits Lamb right on the spot, it's going to be a first down. But Lamb detects that he's in trouble, and so now he takes off. Lamb doesn't know that they're playing 4 across underneath.
And Ward's about to step right under.
And that's the under. That's the under part right there, because the post does nothing or the slant does nothing to Ward, and then the bench route does nothing or the out doesn't move him. So now you just got Jimmy Ward just sitting there. He's watching Dak.
Sure.
And he sees that he's now going to try and fit the ball inside to Lamb. And again, Lamb is detecting that Dak is not throwing the ball to me early. I got to move. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't see Ward. So he takes himself towards Ward. Dak doesn't see him. The receiver doesn't see him. That's why post-game last night, remember CD goes, hey, that one's on me.
Yeah, he took responsibility.
He took responsibility because
your quarterback still needs to know that Jimmy
absolutely.
Ward,
not try to force that ball.
But respect to CD for that, and it's also the defense showing the respect to CD that they've been showing, which is we'll bracket you. We don't care about anybody else.
Yeah,
no one else can beat us.
Yeah, and that was so. He ran to try and clear himself. In a zone, you just want to sit down. You don't keep running in a zone, and he ran himself right into Ward, and that's how the ball got knocked up in the air. I felt like in this game there were 3 plays that Nick Bosa beat you on. I feel like there were 3 plays, all 3 of them against Tyron Smith. And other than that, though, didn't feel like that Nick Bosa was a huge factor in this game. I know there were things they pretty much were able to kind of.
The holds weren't against him?
No. The thing about it is, though,
I thought he did draw one on Tyler Smith. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
Tyler had the false start.
Tyler had the false start to start the game,
but he did draw the hold. Excuse me. I think that's the one hold he had. You're absolutely right.
That
about
was early. Yeah.
And he had 5 pressures. I mean, Parsons had 8.
Yeah,
you can live with that.
Could have had 10.
To me, if you look at the plays that were just killer, they were 2nd and goal on the and this is in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal. And Tyron Smith, this is when they ran the ball. They tried to run the ball. They pulled Noah Brown inside to block. And if Zeke takes the ball and runs it right at that hole, the play's probably going to hit. The problem is Tyron Smith whiffed on the block on Bosa, and he came down and made the play for no gain.
Is this down in the red area?
Yeah, this is 2nd and goal down there in the 3rd quarter. So then you get the whiff by Smith, and then the very next play on 3rd and goal, you get Bosa does a spin move on Tyron Smith, and that's where you get the pressure there. So Dak has to step up to make the throw. He tries to force the ball. That's another one that luckily wasn't intercepted. The ball bounces off Zeke, goes straight in the air. But those were back-to-back plays. The third,
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, the third time is the ball that went all the way down the field to down there with Michael Gallup.
Oh yeah.
If Tyron Smith gets compressed, and now Dak's trying to make the throw, he can't really step into it or make the throw or get through the throw because he's got Tyron Smith right on top of him as he's trying to throw the ball. That's why it had so much problems getting all the way to the outside there. So those were some killer plays that were in this football game. The interceptions, and then what Bosa was been able to do. I worried about him even doing more, but I thought the Cowboys, they held up for the best they could. It's a shame that Tyron Smith was a guy that gave up those 3 plays that I kind of determined were big for Nick Bosa in this game.